Hello, welcome to my end of year report for my bagpipe diary. I just want to say that this is my bagpipe diary so that I can record my thoughts and keep things up to date. I've got a little sheet here so I can look back, see what improvements I've made over my time, and I suppose evaluate my progress. Anyway, if you want to watch my videos, feel free to do so, but please like them and subscribe. I know it's an old comment, but I have to throw it in. Okay, so as I said a minute ago, this is my yearly report. So I've been learning for a few days short of 12 months now. And I've actually learnt from memory 11.5 tunes. So I can play 11 tunes completely from memory, and the last one I'm nearly there. I keep getting a few tunes wrong, but just so that you know which tunes they are. There's Happy Birthday, Good King Wenceslas, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, God Save the King, Amazing Grace, Over the Rainbow. I'm not quite sure which one of Star Wars tunes it is. It's just a little easy one. Old MacDonald Had a Farm, Molly Malone, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Auld Lang Syne, and the one I'm really having a little bit of trouble with right now is the Bridal March. But that would be 12 if I can play them all in the next few days. But at the moment, I'll claim 11.5. Anyway, I'll carry on with the video. So, I thought I might just make a little statement for my own benefit of what I've actually achieved over the last 12 months. So, I think I should start with my first week, because I received my practice chanter on day one, and I placed it to my lips and blew and realised I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And as I'm self-taught, I've had to teach myself everything. So I spent the first few days wandering around YouTube looking for some tutorial advice and struggling. And then I managed to get hold of a copy of the electronic copy of the bagpipers instruction thing for beginners, and there was a few pages on there of the fingering for the chanter and how to play the scales, and then it introduced grace notes and so on and so forth. So I started learning that, and that's what I did for the first few days. And then I realised that somebody's birthday was coming up in a few days, and I thought I'd better learn Happy Birthday to You so I can play it to them on their birthday. So that was the first tune I learned, Happy Birthday to You. And on their birthday, it was awful. No arguments. They wanted me to show up, and they were quite right too. Anyway, I then started my video diary. Another little tip I got from YouTube. I got a lot of stuff from YouTube about it. One of them was the video diary. And one of the suggestions of the video diary was to record videos every so often so you could look back and see how you were progressing. So I started off trying to record every 2 or 3 days. But what I found I was doing was playing the same tunes over and over again. And I wasn't getting any noticeable difference each day. So I changed that to every couple of weeks, and now I've changed it again so that now I start playing a tune that I want to learn, and when I've got it sounding so that it sounds like the tune, but I'm still reading it from my cue cards. I'll get to them later. I then do my first video of that tune and put it up on YouTube, and then I carry on, and then some time further down the road, when I remember, I sit down and make another version, which generally sounds the same as the first time, but the second time is purely from memory. And then obviously the more I practice, it does start improving slightly. I will say slightly, because after a year I still sound rubbish. That's because I have no musical talent, I'm tone deaf, and I've got no sense of rhythm. But I do enjoy playing the bagpipes, and I do enjoy what I do. So I'm going to carry on. Anyway, so the first thing I really had to learn was to read sheet music. So I'm going to pick this piece of paper up with some sheet music on. I haven't learnt this tune. I don't even know how to play this tune, but it's just an example of the sheet music. You can see the notes underneath and the embellishments on the top. And this is the sort of sheet music I get. And then I can learn from there. So then I had to teach myself to do some crib notes. Here's my crib sheet piece of paper. I'm not sure it's visible, or I think the light's getting it quite wrong. Anyway, I have these crib sheets, and it's A5 size, like A something size, but it starts off as A4, and I fold it into quarters, and then each quarter, inside and out, gets a tune. Here's the bridal march. So so I have some musical phrases, and they're each numbered, and then the phrases are played in this order. So phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 1, phrase 3, so on and so forth. And that's how I learn and how I read. I shan't go into the explanation of how I get those into that format. I did a video on that some time ago. Another thing I learnt to make was my own practice chanter reeds. This is not one of them though. This is an actual one of the early ones that I bought. And I also learnt to make drone reeds from bamboo and from pens. I've also made some little videos on that too. I practice every day without fail, absolutely every day, and I have a little sheet. Now the yellow page is not daily. I do this Monday, Wednesday and Friday, because these are some of the tunes that I know really well, and I don't feel that I need to practice them every day anymore. And then on the orange page are the other tunes that I practice every day. So now these tunes take me 5 minutes to play. These tunes take between 5 and 10 minutes to play. So but I practice every day, and what I found is when you go on holiday and things like that, there's so much going on, it's really difficult to play. But somebody I saw on YouTube made an interesting comment about not promising to practice an hour every day, because at some point you would let yourself down, and then because you let yourself down, you get upset, you give up. And I didn't want to do that. And what he said was, promise to practice 2 minutes every day. And I thought, well, I can definitely manage 2 minutes every day. And so there have been occasions where I can't practice half an hour every day. I try really hard to practice half an hour every day. And sometimes I can get 45, 50 minutes, even an hour. Very occasionally. Less than once a month I can actually get an hour's practice. But it's good practice. It's not an hour I'm sat in a room twiddling. I'm actually practicing solid during that hour. But quite often what I do is I practice 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. And then by the end of the day, I might have done 25, 45, 50 minutes or whatever. If it's over half an hour, when I go to bed, go to sleep. If it's less than 10 minutes, I quite often go to bed and just practice my little daily. And once I've done my daily, I clocked up my 10 minutes, and then I fill in I've got a little app on my phone for recording how many minutes, hours, whatever I've done every day. And I fill that in every day, and it actually keeps a little tab of what day I'm learning. So that's quite helpful for me, at least. It might not be helpful for you, but it's helpful for me. And I've also learnt a bit about editing videos. I do have a set of bagpipes. You will see my unboxing video on that, if you want to watch, I should say. I have to say, on playing the actual bagpipes in full, I don't get the time or the space, because although I purchased a half-size set of bagpipes, they're loud, very loud, and I can't practice them at home. Finding somewhere to practice is difficult. I have tried doing it, putting corks in the stocks and playing, I forgot what you call it now. Anyway, just playing the bag and the chanter through the blowpipe. And there's a few videos where I've done that. So and it's not brilliant. It might not even be in tune, but hey ho, I'm tone deaf, so it's just about the fun. Now then, moving on from there, because I started last March, and it was a bit challenging, I used to go and practice in the car, so I didn't upset anybody. And then as summer approached, it was easy because we had long nights and various things, and I could balance my music on the dashboard and practice, and it would be okay. And when it got dark, I would just wrap my hand in and go indoors. But then I realised that come winter time, I'd have to go and sit out in the car, and it could be cold, damp, snowing, and even worse, it gets dark at 5 o'clock. Then you've got to start balancing torches and things to try and see what you're doing. And I didn't like the idea, so I did some research on the electronic chanter, and I found a website, echanter.com, which set out how to make your own electronic chanter. The idea was, on this website, was you take your plastic pipe and you put rivets in and connect it up, and you do various other things, and you ended up looking with something like this. Anyway, I wasn't sure that's what I wanted to do, so I decided, being handy with doing stuff, I decided to make a really cheap version, really cheap. So I made this from a piece of old wooden handle. There is a video on this, as you probably guessed by now. Everything's got a little video. It uses rivets for the touch things, and there's a little Arduino board on the end, and a little battery, and we also have 3.5mm jack to plug in headphones or whatever. Anyway, that worked well. It did me well for months, from August through till Christmas, and then the batteries ran out. I changed them, and it's still ain't fine now, but it did look naff. I have to say, this looks naff, even though it works and sounds okay. So I did set about making one of these. Again, there's a little video on this, so I won't go through it. However, what I would like to say is that it has many advantages, but you only have to touch the rivet anywhere and it detects it as a touch, and I'm not over impressed with that. So I decided that I wanted to do something different, and there was a lot of talk about photo-resistive systems and various other things, and I thought, oh, not sure about that, because the complication comes when you're trying to do the Arduino or whatever is doing the sensing with the least amount of additional components. It's easy to do the sensing. I am an electronics engineer, but I wanted to keep it minimal. Anyway, I've made this, and I don't know whether you can see, but it's this is still in the process of being completed, but I'm using photo transistors, and it's got proper holes in the pipe that feel the same as the chanter, and they're at the same distance as the chanter. So my point, hopefully, is that it will be more realistic from the touch point of view. As I said, this is in process of being built at the moment. But once it's made, it should just go in there and a little bit of software coding, change over, same software pretty much as what I'm using. So that's not a big issue. It uses some software called Mozzie for the synthesizing part, and it works well, but it has limitations. So I decided that I wanted to go Bluetooth, and couldn't work out how to do that with Mozzie. I did a load of research and found that I have to go MIDI, and I also Bluetooth, MIDI, thousands of videos, but never one can I find that actually does what I need it to do. I'm still learning that, researching it. So that is pretty much my yearly report. I feel I've been very successful this year. I'm very happy with this year. So I'm looking forward to the next year coming. I'm not sure how often I'm going to make these reports. Possibly 6 monthly, But I decided this was a yearly report, so I would cover some of the things that I've covered in previous videos. It's going to be a long video, this one, but there you go. That's life. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for joining. I'm glad you got this far. Bye for now.